All right. It is the 15th now. It is Tuesday. Very, very good morning. The sun is shining. It's 20 degrees, right? At least that's what I'm showing, although it doesn't really feel like 20. It feels, what does it feel like?
No, it's not 20 degrees.
Well, I know.
No, it said 4 below when I just left East Barre.
Come on. All right. Obviously.
I mean, I'm not going to call out a thermometer, but I mean, I'm not one personally, but.
Well, obviously, my computer is not.
Okay. Apple says 8 degrees.
All right. I'm pulling up my phone here.
We'll meet in the middle.
Well, 8 to 20. I mean, that's a spread there, Cody.
But it's going to be like 50.
Yeah, I know. When Thursday, right?
Yeah,
I think it's Thursday.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. But look at these sidewalks, dude. Look at this. There's no snow.
No.
On these sidewalks.
No. But you know what comes up soon? Mud season.
Yeah. Yeah, and it'll be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
It will be a good one. You're right. I'm showing 3, and you said 8?
Yeah, I said
crap.
8 on the phone.
We're just all over the road, dude.
I know. It's one of those. Like, someone's right. We know it's not like 30.
3, 8, and 20. You know what we're just going to say? We're just going to say stupid cold.
It's something.
And we'll leave it at that.
It's something.
Good morning, buddy. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for pushing from yesterday, Monday, your normal slot to today. Roseanne Sayers already saying top of the morning to us this morning.
Well, good morning, Roseanne.
We have a lot to get to. We have a lot to talk about. Let's kind of set it up and tell people how we're going to shake down today.
Yeah. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did watch the Super Bowl.
You did watch. Are you a Bengals or a Rams fan?
You know, I'm not a fan of either one. I like football. I have to be honest with you and say that if I'm able to sit down and watch football on Thanksgiving Day, there's one game out of the year, or maybe 2, and if I'm able to sit down and watch the Super Bowl, I'm talking about actually sitting down and having a drink or something to eat, that's 2 games out of the year. So,
are you a Dr. Dre fan or Snoop?
I'm not.
Mary J. Blige?
I'm not, bud.
50?
You know,
No? You didn't think that halftime show was awesome?
What?
You didn't either? Oh, goodness.
Raylene's here. She didn't either.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. You know, listen, I don't want to like ruffle any feathers this morning out of the shoe.
This is gonna be funny.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, DJ Hardacre, he asked me the same question yesterday. But, you know, his whole thing was, oh, my God, did you see that halftime show? What a show. What a halftime show. And I'm like, he's like, what did you think? And I'm like, do you want me to tell you what I think most people thought, or do you want me to tell you what I personally thought? And there's a difference. I think most people thought that it was a fantastic halftime show. I mean, this is just factual stuff. There's no feeling or emotion in here. But then there's folks like Raylene and I just could take it or leave it. I mean, Sherilyn thought it was great. She grew up listening to all that stuff.
I remember when Prince did the halftime show.
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah. I think one of the best halftime shows I've ever seen was The Who. I'm a classic rock guy, dude. I mean, you know.
The first one that I remember was Justin Timberlake and was Janet Jackson?
Janet Jackson.
Yeah, it was Janet. Yeah, that's the first one that I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And
are you kidding me? Are you really that young? Damn, that's the first one you remember.
Well, I started watching football. Like, I started getting into sports and all that probably around like the year 2000 or so, 2001.
You're a kid, bud. You're just like
I'm getting the aches and pains if I lay on my side the wrong way.
Oh.
I feel it for a couple days.
Oh, now you're getting
old.
like
that stuff's starting to, starting to set in. So.
So that's it. That's it on the Super Bowl. It was a great game. It was very physical. It was nice to watch it. What about Valentine's Day for Cody Morrison? Break it down for me. What happened?
I actually made my Barry Beat debut. That was the highlight of my day.
Come on.
Oh yeah, I made about a 10-second cameo.
Last night?
Yeah.
Did you have to pay to get in there?
No, I No, I crashed their party.
You did?
Yeah.
Mackenzie was on the show last night.
He was.
I
Yeah, he
haven't-
was talking about the city budget.
I haven't had a chance to watch it.
No, he did a great job. And then there's William Toberg and Sonia Spalding, who are running for school board. They're on as well, talking about all school district matters.
Yeah.
But now I came in here. That was getting picked up later in the night. I had some time to kill, so I went and hung out with Raylene and did some work and listened to stuff and was invited for a quick little cameo. So
And Raylene was producing last night's show, and I heard that she was firing a Nerf gun. What the hell is that all about?
He's gone by then. I shot Michael with my gun.
You have to take out Booten?
I did.
He was a casualty?
I get it.
Well, I get it, too.
I mean, who doesn't want to shoot him with a Nerf gun sometimes?
I did see Steve McKenzie yesterday. I think it was probably right around noon or so, and I gave him a whole rap of shit for, coming on the Barry beat first before aired out. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I just can't believe he would do that.
Yeah,
but
you know what,
whatever.
though? He's a busy guy, though.
Yeah, but
running the city is
well, clearly he's not not too busy for Michael Booten and Rich Morey. He's too busy for me, though.
Well, by the time
that all about?
by the time that comes along, though, if they're going on at 7:00, most of the fires have. You're usually not getting new fires at that point in the day, but during the day, if you're a city manager, town manager, the crisis of the minute takes priority. So
I said to Mackenzie yesterday, I'm like, dude, name your price. If what do I have to pay you to come on my show? Whatever.
Hey, he got on though.
No,
He got on the beat.
Yeah, well, that's different from aired
Give
out.
him a call.
Yeah.
You could actually
He
walk
won't
right
return
down.
my call.
You can walk right down to City Hall. Actually, we have an open government here in Barrie.
Well, I did yesterday.
You did.
I
Why'd
did
you go to City Hall?
He said he saw you yesterday.
I went over to Mackenzie's office yesterday. I
did?
walked into his office, and I'm like, dude, are you serious?
Did you ask nicely?
No.
Did you say please?
No.
Might want to change your approach, JD.
I said, are you kidding me? You're going on the Barry beat tonight, but you're not coming on aired out yet? And he's like, hey, man, he gave me some fluff. And I'm like, dude, just name your price. What do I have to pay to have you on my
should
show?
bring the studio over there.
Well, I could do that.
Set up the iPhone, do Facebook Live.
Sherilyn has a real problem with the fact that I'm a paper guy. I love papers. I'm like Steve Pappas. We have papers everywhere. I like physical paper. I like to see it.
Yep.
And Sherilyn's a digital guy. Scan it. Put it in the computer. That way you will never lose it. Mackenzie, my God, have you seen his office?
Yeah, I have.
Holy crap. I mean, that's my kind of guy right there. Paper stacked 3-4 feet in the air. I'm like, we got the Leaning Tower of Pisa over here.
Well, the next time they're over there, block off a half an hour, and you can do aired out live from your phone right there.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, if there's, mark my word, if there's ever an earthquake, Mackenzie's going to be disorganized for the rest of his life because all his papers are going to be laid out flat. I mean, there's some serious gravity working against him over there with the papers piled
A
out.
lover of trees.
Yes. My man, I'm so glad that we're, cheers to you. I'm cheering you with my new aired out coffee mug.
Oh, you got swag now.
Well, Raylene, I don't know what she's doing half the time. 3/4 of the time.
But anyways, that was part of my Valentine's Day.
All right.
We had a housing task force last night. The group is still continuing to move forward.
Yep.
We're looking at a lot of different issues, creative housing solutions, zoning issues, workforce development issues, and kind of also putting together basically a clearinghouse of information that you'd want to know if you're looking to do anything involving housing. So if you were moving up here for the first time, you needed to know where the U-Hauls are. Or if you need to know who your local plumber is, if you need to know who your local electrician, property management company, whoever that is. So we're really looking at the housing issue just from multiple ends. And we actually had a couple of our board members join joined the task force last night for the first time.
Really?
Mark Browning, who you've met, we've had him on the show, and then Jen Calfetti, she's the CFO over at Union Mutual in Montpelier. She joined the task force last night as well. So we've got, I think last night we had 15 people last night, but I think we've got 3 board members on there now, and myself, and then other community members and community interests.
Wow.
But that was one thing that we did last night. Then we also had our board meeting, and then I met with the city manager and Janet Shatney, our planning, zoning, permitting director. I always get her many hats mixed up. She wears so many of them over at the city. So a lot going on in our world right now. But the biggest thing that we're seeing right now, the biggest thing that's really emerged in the last month or so, is requests from companies looking to relocate to Barrie or to grow in Barrie. So not just downtown, not just storefronts, but there's a ton of industrial activity right now. So we're working with a couple. We're responding to a couple RFPs from companies that are looking to build factories here. We have a couple smaller warehouse distribution type companies that are looking to relocate over here. We have a couple entrepreneurs that are looking to move into spaces about the size of this building. So there's a ton of activity. It seems like supply chain issues and part of our marketing are really have opened the faucet, if you will, for that type of recruitment. The granite industry right now seems like it's on fire. I mean, granite can't really catch on fire, but granite industry is very busy right now, and that's for a handful of reasons. Since COVID, the industry has really taken off.
Yeah.
So you have granite manufacturers, granite companies that are expanding, that are looking to expand their physical footprint, buying random sheds around town. So it seems like somebody somewhere in the world flicked a switch, just flicked a switch somewhere, and said that domestic manufacturing is back in style. And it's a lot of different industries as well. I know. It's not just the granite industry. Yeah. It's several. We have our one company, Maple Corner Woodworks, are moving up to the Wilson Industrial Park from East Calais. They're going to be opening up probably next month. They're facing some supply chain issues, but they're going to bring about 10, 15 jobs here to Barrie Town. And so it's coming from a lot of different sectors right now. The trucking industry, Giroux General Transport, they're on with you, I think, last week or the week before. Yep. Bellavance,
presenting sponsor.
Or the RPR driving school.
Yep.
They're getting a lot of interest in their programs. So it seems like all cylinders of the economy are firing at the same time right now, which is great for Barrie. It's a great time to be a worker in Barrie right now.
Yeah. Dare we say the word rebounding? I mean, I don't even know if we can say that, but...
That what is rebounding?
The world. The world.
The world?
Everything. Just there's certain areas that are. I think, like you just said, there's certain sectors that are kind of maybe showing some positivity here.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot of supply chain issues seeing supply chain issues as being a main driver for a lot of the localized activity.
In some areas more than others.
That if you want to get a shipping container out of China, it's going to take longer and it's going to be more costly. One of the big driving forces between globalization and outsourcing back, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, was because you had developing economies over in China and Southeast Asia, other parts of the world. And this is a trend that we've seen post-World War II the entire time. Yeah. When people say we want to go back to the Main Street of the 1950s and all of that, well, the economy of the 1950s and 60s was when the U.S. was really the world's factory at that point.
Oh, yeah.
So we were seeing back then what China is probably seeing today. So now, because our economy is so just out of loop right now, you've got a lot of, there's more demand at home. Companies are looking to source various products locally. Even if you go to a hardware store, even if you go to just a random retail store, you're going to find that random products like little plastic containers, blades, paper trays, just the most obscure random items are going to be on back order. There's not a ton of rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just lumber that is being delayed. It's a lot of random little things right now.
Sure.
So that's really causing a lot of companies to look for just more reliable sources. If you can't keep your shelves stocked from your overseas supply chains, what good is your retail space if you don't have anything on them? And one thing that we're really seeing with the granite industry right now in particular, Barre granite in particular, it's a high quality product. So there are some companies that will import granite out of India or China. That's going to be lower quality.
Yeah.
Which there's a market for that. There always will be.
Sure.
But people that typically buy Barre granite are those that are going to be looking for a higher quality product. And one thing that we saw through the pandemic was deaths were part of it. Deaths were certainly part of the increase for the memorials, the headstones, and all that. But another thing...
Mausoleums.
Mausoleums.
Literally.
Yep. Mausoleums. And
there's a mausoleum market.
There's a market for everything. Oh, absolutely. But another thing that we're seeing, and from what I'm gathering just in my conversations with the industry and industry partners, is... that with stimulus checks and kind of the run on purchasing consumer products that we've seen throughout the pandemic, you had a lot of baby boomers having a little extra money in their pockets, and a lot of them would buy kind of pre-need headstones or memorials. And that's a generation that has a lot of wealth.
Yeah.
More wealth than other generations do right now. So I think over the next probably 15 to 20 years, as the baby boomer generation continues to retire and go towards the twilight of their time on Earth, you're probably going to see the granite industry here in Barre do pretty well, just because they want to buy that quality. And that's also a generation that tends to have an affinity, that has an affinity for memorialization as well.
True.
So that combined, so you have
and maybe more retail outlets where you can walk in and pick out your headstone.
Well, you can. Have you ever been to the Rock of Ages Visitor Center?
Yeah.
You can you can go pick it out right now, or I mean, not right now. When they open in the spring, you can. But you can. That's actually part. I think like about a third of their store of the visitor center. You can actually go and pick out like your headstone. It's
there's a few. There's a few. I'm just wondering if there's going to be more retail outlets.
Probably not
in the region. The region. I know there's a couple of down.
I don't know about the region.
Massachusetts has got a few.
In Barre, you're probably not going to see it as much. Because a lot of our granite manufacturers, a lot of our granite industry does wholesaling or manufacturing distribution. So the granite that's made, like if you go on Rock of Ages website, they'll show all their retail outlets up and down the East Coast and throughout the country. So the granite that's made here might be sold in South Carolina at a store or New York or wherever in the world that may be. So the granite industry right now is very well positioned to make some advances to do well over the next while. So what does that mean for Barre? It's great for Barre. The granite industry is our primary industry here. We're literally the granite city, or the granite center of the world. And there are a lot of other industries that grow just because of the granite industry. So Bellavance Trucking is one of them. They were created just to service the granite industry. We have a logistics network that was created to transport very dense, very small, but very heavy pieces of product, raw materials. That's why the railroad actually exists. The railroad goes from Montpelier right to the quarries up in Graniteville and goes no further. So we have a railroad specifically for that industry, which is pretty cool. But you also have a lot of other local businesses like Trow and Holden, Mile Supply. That employ people that order things.
Sure.
So then you think of all the other trucks and
Residual market.
Absolutely. So the granite industry doing well is very good for Barre, and you can make a lot of money in the industry right now. So we're about to find out if the Design Arts program through the Career Center and the Granite Museum is going to be approved by the Agency of Education. Have you heard much about that?
I haven't, but I've been meaning to ask. I haven't, not as much as you have, but I've been meaning to ask you what the stone arts there in the Blanchard block is. I need to go in. I need to go in there. I need to come and see your office. I need to go in there.
Yeah, anytime.
And look around. It's got to happen.
Yeah, I bumped into you yesterday there.
I know.
we're at Emsley's.
Literally bumped into me.
Yep.
Or was it that I bumped into you, or you bumped into me? I don't know.
I was buying a bonsai tree.
Wait, did you?
Yeah, I bought the last one.
Are you kidding? I didn't know that.
No,
those are so cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Hopefully, it's around for a while.
Gonna last longer than roses. Any rose, rose, anywhere.
That's why I prefer to buy plants.
That's cool.
Luckily, my spouse loves plants, so
there you go.
I tend to prefer to buy plants versus roses. Nothing wrong with roses, but plants also give off oxygen. But anyways, going back to that Design Arts program. So the Career Center is working with the Vermont Granite Museum and Scott McLaughlin, specifically through the Stone Art School, to create a Design Arts program, which would be for sculptors, and it'd essentially be a feeder for the granite industry and the stone industry. So it's also going to be kind of a training program for masons as well to some extent. Students would be able to take this like they'd take electrical or plumbing or building trades, just like any other tech center program that Jody Emerson, who we had here back in the fall, just like any of her other programs. But instead, kids would go down to the Granite Museum, and if all works out well, they're going to be able to play with CAD. They're going to be able to play with CNC machines, and actually be working on the raw materials, on some of nature's toughest products. So that would be a 2-year program that you'd go through with the Career Center. We just wrote a letter of support for the program, and we've been part of a working group to kind of identify needs in our labor market for programming at the Career Center and make recommendations. But all the credit goes to Scott McLaughlin, to Jody Emerson, so the Granite Museum, Center Vermont Career Center. They've been doing an amazing job getting this thing off the ground.
Wow.
But there's also a third cool little caveat to it, in that Norwich University is going to be creating a similar program, a 4-year degree program. So that means that kids from Norwich are going to head down to the Granite Museum and are going to be learning the design arts, and going to be working with granite and stone, and going to be gaining skills for Barre's primary industries. And that's another thing orchestrated by Scott McLaughlin. He's a fascinating guy. You got to have him on here, but you got to catch him though. He's very he wears 9 different hats, and they're all full time. I don't know how the guy sleeps.
I understand it. But I've sent him a few emails over, I don't know, the last year or so, and he is a moving target for sure.
Yeah, he's.
I'll get him on.
I mean, I think one of the smartest people in Barre. The guy's absolutely brilliant. I go to him for a lot of stuff if I need to learn about the granite industry, but he teaches over at Norwich, and he runs the museum, and I think he teaches at a few other universities too. Because just some people are just built differently, and he's one of them. But I understand that through the Design Arts program, through the Career Center program, you'll be able to do dual enrollment with Norwich, so you'll be able to get a couple years out of the way. So if you go through the Career Center, you go through the Design Arts program, you enroll at Norwich, you're going to be way ahead of the game versus your peers that are just moving in from California or wherever, having picked up a chisel for the first time when they're in college. So it's a great program. It's absolutely needed. I believe that I'm pretty sure there is a granite industry related program at the Career Center way back when. I don't really know much about it, but I would imagine that this program that Stone Art School at the Granite Museum is running is probably more sophisticated. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but I would think just with everything that they're doing, they're going to be playing with the newest technologies. And that's really what's needed for the granite industry right now. You've got a lot of
technology.
Technology is constantly changing. I think we have a great opportunity right now to modernize our granite industry here in Barre. 50 years ago, you might have been learning with a chisel and a hammer, whereas today you're going to be learning with CAD and CNC machines and computers and doing all the crazy wizardry, etching lasers and whatever stuff they do. It's absolutely fascinating.
Gives
how
you newfound
and a lot of those technologies are used in different industries too. So if you've ever been in a machining or a metal fabrication manufacturing facility before, a lot of the same, like if you ever look at like barrels for rifles or bearings or anything like that, anything fine that's made with metal and precise, they use a lot of the same equipment to etch those as they're going to be using down at the Granite Museum, and concurrently that a lot of granite manufacturers are using to carve granite. So
I don't know how they did it back then. I mean, seeing some of the sculptures around here. I mean, just walk through the Hope Cemetery, but I mean, just right here in Barre, just to see the level of craftsmanship that they were doing way back without any kind of technology is baffling to me.
Well, the technology back then was cutting edge, no pun intended, but that's growing every single day. So back then, they may have had more sophisticated tools, and you're always going to need tools. You're always going to need like a trowel and hold, and you're always going to need like a model supply.
Sure.
That's always going to exist in some way, shape, or form. But one thing that is probably going to come up that's coming up in the industry is that a lot of the granite sheds right now, 50 years ago, they may have been built, constructed, kind of situated to work well with that old school type of refinement and manufacturing. Whereas today, there's a lot more technology. So a lot of the older granite sheds aren't as set up as efficiently as they could be. So we're really starting to concentrate our efforts on the workforce development side, working with the Granite Museum, the Career Center, just to make sure that our primary industry can thrive and that we can do whatever we can to help it grow.
Can we jump? Can we rewind just a little bit to domestic manufacturing and what's happening in Barre? You said your phone's ringing. Can you kind of?
So since February 1st. I've had about 45 calls back and forth following up about leads.
Whoa. You kidding me?
Yeah. It's
for square footage? I mean, what are we talking about?
So either a company calling in, me calling a company back, me calling a property owner to see what they have for commercial space around, me calling an investor who wants to invest in a certain industry, telling them, hey, we've got this person that wants to do XYZ. Let's connect you guys. It's happening a little bit of everywhere. So it's getting to the point now. If you read the Times Argus this morning or yesterday, you would have seen that Vermont Food Bank is expanding, and they just rented a building on East Barre Road, the former Village Cannery site. They're doing a bigger renovation right now, but they just signed a lease over there. So a couple of the buildings released in the Wilson Industrial Park are filling up very quickly. One of them just filled up completely, and the other one is nearly completely full. Down in Barre City, the Wall Street complex is getting a lot of interest. The granite sheds are getting snatched up by manufacturers, and it's pretty crazy what's happening right now in the economy. But a lot of it has also been coming through as a result of our marketing too. We do Vermont Business Magazine ads. We work through here. We have our website, and we've got inquiries directly through there as well. So that combined with inquiries right directly through the state of Vermont that we get. And we also get a lot of phone calls, referrals. Joe Allsworth, Deputy Chief Joe Allsworth of the Barre City Fire Department, sent us a lead the other day. sent Tracy Lewis and I a lead for a company that he found out was looking to relocate. So it's happening.
I thought you were going to tell me you were going to confirm the rumor that Joe is interested in starting up an indoor roller skating rink, which I've been hearing about a lot. That Joe might be doing that.
If he wants to do a roller skating rink, I'm gonna tell him that he needs to put a rock climbing wall in there as well, because we've got somebody that wants to invest in a rock climbing wall business.
Maybe he should do both.
That's fine.
All right,
I'll connect. I'll hook him up.
Joe has a pair. Joe's got a pair of pink roller skates that I don't know if you've ever seen them with the fluffy tassels on them. They're amazing.
And he's probably had them for a while because no one's ever going to steal a pair of pink fluffy roller skates.
True. Back to the indoor climbing wall. What do we have to do to make this happen? Because Lily is. I took her indoor rock climbing down in Rutland, and she's freaking out about it. She just loves it and wants to go again. And we've got school break coming up, and I'm going to be taking her. I think we're going to be going to Burlington and Colchester. But, dude, we have to.
We're working on it.
I'm getting frustrated.
So what you can do?
We have to have that happen.
Okay, so you can help me do the shout-outs.
Please.
What
do I need to do?
This is a team. Tell your friends, and
other than buy the damn rock climbing wall myself, I don't have time for it.
Help me find somebody that wants to open a rock climbing business or wants to expand their gym, their fitness center, their CrossFit center, or
what do I have to do? I have to threaten Lucas John? Do I have to go over there and put him in a headlock?
I just told you. We got to find somebody that is interested in opening a rock climbing business, because we have an investor lined up that is looking to invest heavily into one of those businesses. So now,
are you kidding? You serious?
Oh yeah.
It's got to happen.
So if you know anybody, and this is how we're doing it too, we're trying to get the word out. We're reaching out to our networks, and this stuff is business development, economic development. This stuff is all about networking, and this is a big reason why I go on the show every Monday. We're talking just before about the leads and that I've got just from this show alone. I've had a fair amount of I've had a fair amount of business coming out of here, usually more downtown businesses, entrepreneurs that are looking to open up a little storefront or something, or an office space. But that's part of the reason we're going on, is to let people know what's going on in the community, what's going on in the business community, the economy, but also to let people know about opportunities like this.
Yeah.
So anyone out there, JD, Raylene, Justin, if you're back there, if you know somebody that is interested in a rock climbing gym or owns a gym and wants to expand and wants a cool attraction as part of it, then I can send some investment capital your way.
Oh my God. That would be so
it'd be killer.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely. People drive for that stuff.
Listen,
I mean, you know how far people drive just to go see Lucas John.
Exactly.
I mean, people do this. I mean, you just told me you drove down to Rutland to climb a wall.
Yeah, dude.
People are going to be doing people are going to drive from Littleton, and people are going to drive from the Northeast Kingdom, right. Orleans County. They're going to be Essex County. Yeah, they're going to be. It's going to be a huge attraction.
We don't have it anywhere around here. It's Burlington. It's Rutland.
I should call Pete Coleman. Maybe he'd want to do it.
Well,
he's got the market right there.
But look at some of these buildings that we have around here that would be perfect for that. Perfect.
So that also goes back to our previous point about how companies are buying up all the tall buildings.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to be a little creative, but that's the fun part about it.
Right. We need more things like this where families can get together, kids, youth. Can get together and be indoors during the 13 months of winter that we have in this state.
That is that's one model how dying malls are staying afloat. There are going to be big malls like the university, like the UVM Mall, the Mall in New Hampshire down in Manchester, New Hampshire. Like those ones are going to be like your typical retail, like what you think of a mall. Like those are going to survive that way. But the little random dying malls, that's one reason, or that's one way how they're staying afloat.
Yeah.
If you go over to the one over in St. Jay, they've got a dance studio in there. They've got a gym in there. There's a brew pub. It's mostly experience related attractions. So
was it Diamond Run? I can't think of it, but there's another mall down in Rutland. I think it's the Diamond Run Mall.
I think you're right.
Yeah, same deal.
Concord, New Hampshire, they have the Steeplegate Mall down there. There's now a trampoline park in there. Amazon, eBay, e-commerce has really kneecapped the retail industry, and has kind of reconfigured what is a successful business model for it. But you can't order a physical experience online. You can't jump on a trampoline via Amazon. So that's how those places are staying afloat. So people love experience-related attractions, and that's why something like a rock climbing gym would be awesome here in Barrie.
God.
And
incredible.
I mean, we are the Granite City, so it's fitting.
Yeah, exactly. Of course it is. Let's let everyone know that Tracy Lewis is going to be coming in from the Barrie Partnership with a couple of interns. That give us just a brief teaser on that, because they're going to be in here shortly. Set us up.
So the Barrie Partnership and Barrie Area Development, we partnered with Spalding High School to share a couple work-based learning students. So these are students that are interested in going to school for business, and they've been helping us with various projects. Like they're working on a welcome packet now for new businesses and residents. One of them recently organized a basketball tournament, a 3-on-3 basketball tournament to take place over at the Northfield Savings Bank parking lot during the Heritage Festival. One of them at one point was helping me look for a commercial space, just in reference to a company trying to find a home here in Barrie. So we're looking up commercial real estate listings. We're looking up GIS mapping systems to confirm zoning. So we're really diving into the weeds. But the kids are going to come on, and we're going to talk about what they do and all the great work that they're doing for our organizations.
So great.
But before we do that, though, I wanted to talk about a new grant program for businesses. I linked it in the chat earlier. It's right after Amber's comment. It's about the CNPP from VermontEconomicDevelopment.com. That stands for Community Navigator Pilot Program.
Okay.
So that is a new grant program that is available. I believe I think that's an ARPA/COVID stimulus program just for small businesses. Over the last month or so, we've really been talking about that Embrace Grant program, that $5,000 mini grant program. So this is going to be similar to it. This is going to be the ceiling is $5,000 for the program, and basically it's for small businesses that need some sort of technical assistance. So how it was, and I'm looking for my notes here on it while I'm looking this up. So how it was explained to me, or how I understand it, is it can go towards services that one Vermont company would hire another Vermont company for. Uh-huh. So if you are any sort of a business, you would hire a company like Eternity Web to create a website or help you with your digital marketing or your e-commerce. You would hire a company like Salvador and Babic for your accounting, for some of your bookkeeping needs. You may hire a Field and Field down here, or any one of our law firms out here, just for any legal fees, incorporation, anything of the like. You may also partner with a Justin Lawrence for financial services for your company. So it's pretty broad in what it'll fund, but it's some sort of service that you can purchase from another company that will help you grow your business. So There's going to be a soft launch in late February for priority businesses, like rural businesses, which we are. However, there's a webinar that is going to be held in probably, I think it's March 9th, early March, just outlining the program, and then it's going to be open to everybody. But with the Embrace Grant program, that had a few more strings attached to it. That had a few more qualifications. Like this program doesn't look at losses or anything through COVID, and it doesn't consider if you've got any other business relief programs like the Paycheck Protection Program. That was
whereas the Embrace Grant does.
Whereas the Embrace Grant does, correct.
Yeah.
So the amount of businesses that could apply for that one was far fewer than this program is. However, the Embrace Grant program is still open.
Yeah.
So make sure to go check that out as well, and I'll link that here in the chat. But this program can actually be combined with the Embrace Grant program. Still trying to figure out how they can be combined, but I was told that yesterday in a meeting, which is good.
I don't know how the hell you're doing all this. You're juggling so much, and you have so much going. I just don't know how you're doing it, dude.
Well, delegate, and I've got a great board that is very willing to help. I mentioned last week we've got 15 people on our board that will pick up the phone anytime I have an issue. I'll give an example. I made a call. So during this run on industrial space, I've been calling a lot of my board members just to see if they knew this one property owner, if they had their phone number, so I could call and confirm the status of a granite shed. That saves me hours of time having to Google their name,
right? Try
to hunt down their phone number. If I can just call one of my board members and say, "Hey, do you know Mark Girardi?" or somebody like that.
Yeah.
But I called one board member a couple weeks ago. They were on a snowmobile. They had just stopped and they were on a snowmobile trip, and so I called and he said, "Hey, Cody, I'm out in the trail right now. I'm out in the snowmobile trail right now. What's up?" I'm like, why are you answering my phone call?
Yeah.
Call me later.
Well, because it's Cody Morrison.
But last week I had another board member pick up while on a chairlift.
Listen.
While on a chairlift. So I called and
are you surprised?
Called on a chairlift. So
Raylene does the same thing.
I'm talking to the guy for probably 4 or 5 minutes, and he says, "Cody, I got to let you go. I'm about to get off the chairlift." And I'm like, what the?
See, that's
like, why?
See, that's
if I'm out skiing, I'm not picking up, and I'm on a board, I'm probably not picking up a call from the executive director. But that just goes to show how quickly my board is able to mobilize, and how everyone's pushing our snowball all in the same direction, which is great. But
listen,
a lot of my work is possible because I have such a great support system in my board and a direct link to the private sector.
Yes, you do.
Of course, great partners like you and the Times Argus and the city, the town, Tracy Lewis,
Raylene,
everyone else in between. Yep.
Raylene on your ass all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me on your ass all the time.
This is true. This is very true. I said to Sherilyn, I don't know, a week ago or so, I said, it was texting. Who are you texting now? And I said, Cody Morrison. And okay. That's all right. But I said to her, I'm like, if there's a couple of people that I would really love to just sit down, not here, somewhere else, out in the back patio or something this summer, just have a cold beer with and just chew the fat, maybe have a sharpened pencil close by and just idea generate. I mean, you talk about this we're looking for someone to open up a rock climbing wall. I mean, there's so many other ideas. I mean, look at this. We have some really exciting news that we're going to be dropping at noon today about a community center.
Yes.
But we don't want to say anything more because we'll both get in trouble.
But it's worth tuning in at noon. It's going to be exciting.
I'm telling you, this is something that has been needed, I think, for a very long time. And all we're going to say is community center, and we'll say Barre, Vermont, and that no other words other than 12 noon today. And this is we're so excited about this. We're so excited about it. But we're going to be kind of letting the cat out of the bag here at noon today about something really, really profound that is coming to Barre. And I might even add sooner than later.
Yeah, it's good.
Sooner than later.
It's an exciting time to be in Barre right now. People are looking to invest. Again, we're getting calls from companies quite often that are looking for everything from garage space to truck repair space to manufacturing space, but also looking for commercial office space.
Yeah.
Looking for retail space.
Sure.
Looking for everything in between. We've recently had the Concord Group. They moved over from Berlin.
Yeah.
They had a big building up there up by the airport, and they just brought about a half a dozen jobs over to the Blanchard block. That's exciting. Made in Brazil, obviously. They just moved in recently. They just set up shop. But it's a great time to be in Barre. And with that, it looks like our surprise guests are coming in here.
They're walking in right now. You go right ahead and set it up and introduce them, and we'll get Raylene will help out. We'll get them situated over.
So we'll end show 1 and we'll start with show 2 here in a few minutes, if that works for you, JD.
Yeah, we will.
But anyways, thanks for tuning in this morning, everyone. Tell your friends that we go on every Monday morning,
and today's Tuesday, but we have a lot to say. There's a lot of local stuff going on.
Good way to kick off the week.
We just have to do it.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother, so much for your partnership with us. And we just I always look forward to having you on.
Yeah, it's a good way to kick off the week. But everyone, stay tuned because we're going to have a very special show coming up here in a few minutes.
Just a little bit. Stick around here on Aired Out.